Every time I post my on-site laser engraving setup, I always get asked the same question. What do you bring to these events? What do I actually need? Well, I'm gonna show you from the laser down to the little things that saved me when something goes wrong. And believe me, things have gone wrong. Hey, I'm Jess, the owner of 99 Art Designs, and I travel to corporate events, weddings, birthday parties, even bookstores to do on-site laser engraving. And I'm gonna show you what I bring from the laser down to the really small things that you wouldn't even probably think of. So let's go. Okay, so let me preface this video by saying this is a workshop. I have a mess in here. I've been working, okay? It's not pretty, so just know that. I wanna show you how I actually bring my laser to places so that way it doesn't break or anything, okay? So this is the Ryobi link box. I got this on Facebook Marketplace for a really, really good price. It didn't come with the other extra boxes, but I just needed this bottom piece anyways. And I like it. I love this thing. And you can also use it as a dolly, and I'll explain in a second. So let's open her up. So it has little handles here. Open it up. Okay, now inside I have my XTool F2 on this side, the hose, the air purifier, XTool air purifier, and then I actually took some cushion, some styrofoam from the package that my XTool came in, and I just cut them down and put it into here in the slots where it's a little loose, and one in between my machines, so that way they're not hitting each other. But it's a perfect fit for the XTool F2. Definitely recommend the Ryobi link. I'm sure you could find some other ones, but this one I know for sure fits. The cords that I actually carry with me, one, we have the tube. Always need the tube for the air purifier. Now I always bring the air purifier. Because I don't want my guests, even if it's outdoor, I don't want my guests smelling all the stinky stuff. So all the residue and stuff from engraving. So I always bring the air purifier regardless of outdoor or indoor. And then the next cord that I bring that's essential is a long 8-foot cord. I don't know how long this is, like 8 feet. I used one of my old Christmas light cords. So yeah, always bring a long cord because you never know where the outlets are going to be at the events. And I always explain to the people like, hey, I'm gonna need to be set up near an outlet because I have a laser engraver, and they're usually good at putting me right next to one, but you know, you just never know. Next cord is the USB to your laptop and your F2. I did tag this one because there was no name on it, so I know this one is for the F2 and the laptop. However, this one doesn't work anymore, and I'll explain why. When I went to put it away the first time, this one is from XTool. When I went to put it away, I folded up my ends here. I bent them too much, and now it doesn't work. So I have backups, and I'll show you those in a sec. Of course, they come with your XTool and your air purifier. This one is for the XTool F2 to plug in. Bring that with you. The Ryobi also fits the one for the air purifier. So the Ryobi fits all of those cords, plus the XTool F2, as well as the air purifier. I always tape mine because sometimes I've noticed the lid on mine will slowly start creeping up during travel, and I don't want that. So I always add just some masking tape. Okay. Now, another thing I always love to bring is a surge protector because I can always have multiple outlets. And then this goes into the green 8-foot cord. Because I usually have my XTool F2, the air purifier, a mini fan, my laptop, and my phone if it's dying or anything, or my camera if I'm taking video or something, you know, and it needs to charge. So having extra outlets is really, really nice. So I always bring this too. So I usually have a tub like this and just the Ryobi with my laser and purifier in it, and it's so nice because it's not like a normal vendor event where you have to bring thousands of buckets. But the one thing I also like the Ryobi for is this goes up and it locks, so it's like another dolly that you have. so you can bring it with you places. So that's really nice about the Ryobi too. So I just went to a corporate event, and that one was for 130 tumblers in 2 hours. I was stressed, but we did it. But I only had to bring 1 bucket. I also did have to pack 6 extra boxes from JDS of tumblers. That wasn't fun. But we got it done. My point is that I brought this 1 bucket back here. And so I usually bring a separate bucket full of like the necessities. But this bucket is a little different. I did have to switch out my regular tub that I usually bring for events because everything was paid up front from the company. I only had to worry about tumblers. So I just brought like extra cleaning supplies for the tumblers, extra tumblers, a fan, but I'll show you all that. Okay, so in the tub, we have fire blanket, always, just in case. You never know. You always want to go to an event and the vendor or the host knows like, oh, okay, you're actually, prepared and you're taking the safety precautions. For this last event, I did have to bring Play-Doh because I was doing tumblers and I didn't have a jig and I don't have the rotary. Didn't need the rotary. So I was like, let me use Play-Doh. Worked great, by the way. Another thing that I brought for the tumbler event was magic erasers to clean off the tumblers. We brought extra tumblers. Sharpies, because I did have them write their name on the box. And then they give it to me just so it can simplify the workflow. Because there was 130 people. It was a lot. Next I got gloves, 2 sets of sizes because I did have somebody there helping me with the event. So I have large and extra large. Masks, just in case if somebody asked or if the host was like, hey, do you have masks kind of smelly, prepared, or if we need one. Tape. I also have duct tape and masking tape and then just Scotch tape. Always be prepared. You never know. And what's really nice is I just got a mini fan recently and I just plugged this in and oh gosh, we were sweating after setting up everything and bringing 6 boxes of tumblers through the door. We were sweating. So I got a mini fan and also I did get it in case my laser was smelling, which it doesn't usually, but I had the lid open just a little bit to engrave the tumblers and this works fantastic. There was actually no smell at this event engraving tumblers because the F2 is so tiny. The tumbler sticks out just a little bit. Everything was great. Another thing I bring is the shop towels to wipe off the tumblers. Like I said, masking tape. Now, I did end up making myself a bar table, so a wooden bar table for events. And if you guys want to see that one, let me know in the comments and I will post a video on how I made it. But here's a picture of how I made it, of how it looks. At the event, I decided because the lid of my F2 was going to be opened a little bit, I did not want my guests to get near that blue light when it engraves the tumbler. So I actually did end up getting a webcam. Let's see if it'll focus. I got a little webcam here and I just stuck it on the side of my bar table. Once I plug it into my computer, I can mirror it to my monitor. So I did get a monitor on Amazon, of course. It's a portable monitor M156F01. And this is what it looks like. Comes with the cords also. USB-C, because if you're a Mac user, you know the problem with USB. So this is what it looks like. And you could just set it up like this. And it just sits on the table. It's nice and cute. Really lightweight, which is really nice, which is what I wanted. And so once you just plug it into your computer, it'll turn on. It'll say, which window would you like to mirror? And you can mirror. If you want to see this in a video, I'll show you how I set this whole thing up. Let me know. And another thing for the tumblers was the soap. I used Dawn dish soap. And then, rags. You never know. You might need them. some clips in case the camera didn't hold or something fell off of my bar table. And something that is really important to me is signage, because hello, I do B2B sales, so I make signage all the time. And so I did have one for tips, and I had a caution sign because there is blue light and radiation. I had the caution sign. That way they know, hey, look at the monitor. Do not look directly at my laser. My bar table is designed so that way there's a little ledge on the top. So it's inset so they can't really see the laser anyways. And then another one I have is my little QR code signs here. It's just like on-site laser engraving, and they just plug in right here. If you want these files for the signage, also let me know. But that was pretty much it for the tumbler tub, I like to call it. Now, something else I always recommend bringing is a tripod, compact tripod. This one's for the phone. And then I have my DJI Pocket 3. But this one's really cool because you just pull it out and it's like a whole stand. I don't know the name of this one. Full View. But I really like this one. And then something I want to stress to you is bring backup cords if you have the F2. Because I was at a birthday party where they already paid up front. And I spent 30 minutes of the first hour just trying to get my computer and my F2 to connect via USB. And it was not connecting. I was stressing so bad. And then I figured out that the end of the cord was, the wires were bent. And so I just ended up moving it a little bit because the wires were so messed up that luckily it ended up working. But after that, I was like, nah, I got to find a replacement. So I found these USB-C to USB-C, by the way, because I'm a MacBook user, sorry. These Anchor ones, they're just Anchor USB-C to USB-C cords. I have like 3 of these for backups because I don't want that to happen again, especially at an event where they pay you up front. Wasting time like that is not good. Something else you should always bring with you is your business cards. These are metal business cards, aluminum. So I just have my QR code, my business name, logo. Always bring some type of business cards with you. It doesn't have to be this fancy, but that way people know. I get a lot of people all the time at events just grabbing a business card. Just to see what else I do or follow me on Instagram, and hey, that helps me out a lot. So people love to support you, especially when you're doing something really cool and fun like that. They'll always just go on there and support you. So another thing you cannot have enough of, pens. I run out of ink in these pens like crazy, okay? And of course, your MacBook, computer, laptop, whatever you use to connect your F-tool and design, bring that with you. Okay, this is my vendor tub where the event is not paid up front and I have to actually have guests pay at the store or at the event. Lately, I've been doing a lot of bookmarks at bookstores, and so that's been really popular. So I just have my bookmarks, heart leather bookmarks, in a container that's already just fits in my tub. I just put it in there and I can just take it out and put it on the table. And I have some more product, these Living Hinge books, some notebooks in here. You always want to have examples on how things will sit, how they look. If you are offering different fonts or different sayings, things your guests can put on the item, always have a little poster where they can choose the font option, and they could choose the saying. And then always keep an extra one for yourself. I made a little ducky sign, so if they follow me on social media, they can get a free rubber ducky. Let me tell you, adults go crazy for this. Something really important that I always use when I do bookmarks, the mini little knickknacks for events, are jigs. So I always have my jigs packed with me. These are for bookmarks that I made, and so I always have my jigs packed with me. If you want me to show you how I made these jigs, let me know in the comments and I will do another video about that. But these are for the XTool F2, so they fit perfectly. Then I bring some little bags just in case if my guests buy a whole bunch of stuff and they're like, I can't hold anything. Give them a little bag. And then once again, signage. This does have a stand to it, but it's way on the bottom of the tub. Stands, signs, those always make a difference, especially if you have their Venmo on there. And if you need one, reach out to me because I make those. I also have extra bins in here just in case I want to put out product a different way. I always do a different setup every time. I don't have a preferred setup when I'm using a regular 6-foot table instead of my bar table. But I always recommend having a preferred setup. I just do too many things at once and I'm like, I can't pick what I want to put out today. So everything's always different. But the stuff I bring is usually the same, like the bags and stuff. Those little things are the same. All right, well, that's pretty much everything I bring with me to my events. So I hope that helped and I hope that inspired you and gave you some ideas if you decide to start doing on-site laser engraving. If there's something I forgot or you have any other ideas of what people should bring, leave them in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. I do have more videos coming out, I promise, of on-site laser engraving tips, hacks, laser engraving in general, because you can see I do have a CO2 machine also, not just a diode, and more content. So I would appreciate it if you wanted to stick around and follow along. And as always, stay groovy, my friends. See ya.